What up, what up, what up? How are we doing tonight? Well, it's tonight for me. Long time no stream, I guess. Even Monday was a weird one. I was so tired. I was like falling asleep and stuff. And we tried to do a refactoring, which was not super necessary, and it didn't go anywhere. But, we'll be fine. As always, in the beginning, you just let me know if you hear me well, if the music is too loud, all kinds of things. I finally spent like 2 seconds replacing the background, this whole matrix thing, and it just like I chose it like for the previous video. About like how to sound good on camera and how to sound good on camera, how to sound good in a Zoom call, and also how to look good on camera, which is gonna be the next video. And we kind of like chose this background, and like it like coincidentally, it almost never goes above this this white line over here, which I think looks really cool. All right, so I ran my typical update, and we're gonna switch to this scene where we are starting the shopping cart application. VS Code just ran some update. Alright, let's see if there's also an update to any plugins. Okay, there's only Copilot, okay, GitLens. It's actually funny because there's a new version of Metals that came out, but I think it didn't, like the VS Code plugin did not update itself. Let's see. Yeah, like 4 weeks. But there was a Metals release thing. All right, let's reload like for for the other plugins, just to have like all the new stuff. So yeah, like on Monday we well, actually on Friday we assembled the entire application, and then on Monday I tried to like refactor this thing, and it got like a little bit better, not much better. Also, for some reason, why did it feel like some lag selecting this stuff? Is everything cool here? Yeah. I'm not dropping anything. It's all good. All right. So I'm not happy with like how this thing ended up. So we're going to fix it at some point, but not today, because we need to make some progress. I don't want this series to go like forever. So what we're gonna do is, well, first of all, let's have a look at this, right? So this looks much more concise. However, you also have this like this nested thingy, right? So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, right? But it's better than what we have, which is, well, we have like 1, 2, 3. Well, we also have 4 levels, right? But somehow like I've written it in such a way that it looks more weird. Anyhow, I feel like we finally should move on to some other use cases. And if you remember from like the very original video, the very first one in this playlist, maybe the second one, but I think it was the first one. Do you hear my cat scratching? That's what happens when they're here. Anyhow, so if you remember from the first video, right? Like over here in modules, in well, shop. I believe it was in services. Yeah. So this is where we were, and we like took the authentication, which was like our primary use case, and we moved all of it right to this new architecture. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna get the next one, right? Which is going to be brands. And if you remember from the first video, we kind of like went through all of them, and we realized there's actually not much, or like even like zero business logic. Like if you look at brands, it's basically just CRUD, right? It goes straight to Postgres. Okay. If you look at categories, same thing. If you look at health check, okay, well, health check has a tiny bit more because it has to like touch Redis. Items, Postgres. Yeah, it's just like codecs and queries, right? Orders, Postgres. Just go straight to the database, which by the way does not mean that there is no business logic. Like we would need to like inspect exactly like what is happening over here. But like basically there's only health check, and I believe like the shopping cart is the bigger one, right? So there's like some Redis, there's some error handling, but at the end of the day it's a CRUD application, right? So we have like health check, we have shopping cart, and we have, let's see. Oh yeah, this one has transaction. This one is really good. We really need to do this one at some point. Maybe we'll even start today with this one. Actually, it's small and it doesn't seem to have business logic, but it's good. Hold on, we might not be able to do this because it does. Okay, well it only needs Postgres, right? Oh, hold on. What is in there? Okay, it's just codecs. Okay, so that's fine. What is TX item? Is it like a tax? Oh, transaction item. Okay. All right. So this makes sense. I think we should be able to start with this one. We'll see. And then we also have users, which, okay, so we actually already did users, right? So we, if you remember, I believe we have like auth and users, we have it like in one thing. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so pretty much like health check, shopping cart are the ones that have like a little bit business logic, and transaction items have transactions. We should probably start with transaction. Like I wanted to do like all of these like I was about to say like almost boring ones, because they will just go like straight to the core, just delegate to the gates. But I feel like maybe we should do this one first, because this one is like the most valuable. It's like a very popular question, like how to do transactions with a diamond architecture. I really want to. I still want to start with something super chill. Okay, so let's just grab something super easy, like brands, and move it, and then we feel like we did something, and then we're gonna grab the transactions items, because I feel like for transactions items we're gonna need to like copy paste like too much code like at the same time. All right, so let's see how many of you guys are here, even though like this thing actually cannot be trusted. Like it says that there's like one concurrent viewer, but I already have like 3 likes. Again, now 2 concurrent viewers, so it's jumping around. So I don't know how many of you guys are here, but if you're here, it's Friday, so say hi, introduce yourself, say like where you're from. You never know, because maybe there's somebody else watching from the same country, for example. I'm in Brazil and it's 8 o'clock in the evening, so very likely that maybe a Brazilian is here or somebody from US. Pretty much everybody else should be sleeping at this point. So let's have a look what we have here. We have day 14. So what we're going to do today is going to be day 15. Jesus, 10 days already. If you remember in the beginning, like I wanted to rewrite this whole thing at once. Okay, I'm talking too much. All right, so we're going to start with brands. Okay, so what we're going to do is, well, first of all, let's inspect it, right? So this is brands, which means we need to find like where we use find all. Okay, so very simple route. And there's not even the middleware. There's nothing. Okay, what about create? Okay, so there's a suit and there's the admin brand routes, which means that there should be a middleware. Yes, there is with the admin user, but we already have this, which is perfect. Okay, so this is brands is good. I don't know this one. JSON object is what? It's Cersei? Yeah, okay. Singleton? What does it do? Oh, it's like a one value. Oh, it's an object with a single field. Oh, interesting. Yeah, makes sense. All right. So let's just go and start. So as a reminder, like I always prefer to have like my own namespace for this stuff. Okay, and therefore we're just gonna go over here, and it's called brands. Actually, look over here. It says admin brand routes, and this thing is called brands. I don't know why, but I'm remembering my video about this convention of calling database tables with a singular name or multiple name, because you like run into these issues, right? Like it should have probably been like admin brands routes, right? But in English it makes less sense. So now you have brands and admin brand routes. You just don't run into these issues with single names, right? So if this was called brand.scala instead of brands, but it's all good. So the use case is going to be Shopee, new file, brand of brands. I think it's better to go with brands. Maybe it would be even better to go with branding, because it's very likely that we're gonna have like a val brand or val brands, like over here. See, like there's brands, and so it would not be ideal if it would like collide with a package name. So whenever you have like an escape hatch like this, I think it's better to take it. Okay, so we're gonna go with branding. Okay, and as always, we're gonna have a boundary inside. All right. So as always, we're gonna go like this. All right. Trade boundary. And we do tagless final, so it's gonna be like this, like that. All right. This was a nice try. So we should probably do this and do like brands, and maybe throw this thing like over there, like that, and yeah, let's go like this. Okay, so I don't know the shortcut to jump like from here to there, but yeah, so we're gonna do this manually. Okay, so let's see if we even have like all of the types. Okay, obviously we don't. Okay, so where's brand? Okay, so as always, we have like this decoder and encoder thing. We cannot have this because we are in the business logic layer. So it's not a new type because it has like two things. Therefore, we can pretty much go like this for now, right? So for now, we can go like this. When I'm gonna have these two, we're only gonna have equivalence and show, and we're gonna make it final like this. Okay, so we need like all of these imports, and because I'm lazy, I'm just gonna like grab all of them like this, and I'm just gonna paste them over here. Right, I'm gonna go like that. Okay, so these ones are gone. These ones are gone. We don't have Cersei, and there we go. Okay, so okay, so we don't have brand ID. Okay, so brand ID is a new type. Okay, and therefore like everything here is an object brand. Okay, so we're gonna go and we're gonna create a package object. Okay, because we have a new namespace, and so it's totally fine to have a package object. However, like it's annoying that we need package objects to begin with, because as already mentioned like 1000 times, in Scala 2 we can have top level objects, and so once we create this package object over here in branding, we won't be able to create package objects like anywhere else in this namespace, like in all the others, because all of them will have this namespace, right? Oh, hey Michael, what up? You should be sleeping. Well, what did I want to do? I wanted to create a new Scala file, which is a package object. Okay, there we go. Exactly like that. Okay, and so over there we're gonna have that stuff, and we're gonna go like this, and we're probably gonna need like all of these imports like that. Okay, so yeah, so we're not gonna have this one. Okay, so we're gonna have equivalence, we're gonna have show, and we're gonna have UID, and I don't remember where I put it. Well, so this one is Java utility UID, okay, but like this one, oh, I put it in dev inside. Okay, so I managed to put it in dev inside. That's great. What do you mean? Go away. All right, so it's like this. Over here, it's okay. So we also need brand name. There will be a brand from at some point. Oh wow, it can also do. I really need to check out Darable. It seems to be really awesome. I hope that they're making progress for for Scala 3. All right, so like this. Whoops. Like that again, like this. All right, cool. So there we go. We have our types. We're here. We can go like this. There we go. Nice. Okay. So we have the types, which means we can go back like this. We can extract it. Let's see if Metals will manage to actually move it with the annotations. Oh my God. Did you see that? Sexiness. All right. Cool. Okay. So, well, almost. So, like that. Okay, nice. So, this is the boundary. We don't need anything else for now. All right. So, over here, we want difference. And we want to close this thing. Okay. So, this is going to be the implementation, but as you can see, the implementation pretty much just goes straight to Postgres. Okay, so we're gonna go like this, object, boundary, implementation. As a reminder, like at some point we're going to extract the headers of the core somewhere else, and so we're going to move the implementation in somewhere else. Well, technically, we're like, well, yeah, we'll move it down. And so, like as of right now, we could go like this, right? But once we're gonna move it, we won't be able to have this companion object in a separate compilation unit. Okay, so we need to give it a different name, so we always go like this. Okay. So we're gonna have make, and it just needs some f. It just needs some gate that, as of right now, does not exist, and it's going to be a boundary. Let's see if yeah, wow, yeah. This is pretty much exactly what I wanted. Okay, we just need to create a gate. Okay, so we're gonna create a gate, and the gate is going to have, yeah, exactly this. Oh man, I love the GitHub Copilot. I have a video about it. You might want to check it out. Great. So this is all we need. So we're gonna just put the gate into its own thing. Okay. Save everything. Go like this, like that, like that. Okay. Now, this is the thing that I haven't figured out for myself. Okay. So usually, like the gate is a facade. Right, because like for example, the one that we had for like users, it was a big gate, right? It had like many things, right? It consisted of like many of these traits. Okay. However, as of right now, like this gate, if it was a real application, I would go and I would do this that I'm just going to do because it's easier to explain. Okay, so I would actually extract this thing. Okay, so I would actually call it like storage, right? And then I would go, okay, well, trade gate, right? So it's a total like over engineering overkill. However, if you end up like adding things to the gate, you will have to refactor less stuff. Okay. All right, so it extends storage. Okay, like this. And therefore we're going to have a companion object, which is going to have a make, right, like that. Okay, and it will require some storage. Okay, and it will produce a gate, And let's see if the Copilot can help me. Let's see, did I do it correctly? I didn't pay attention. Hold up. No, where did these guys come from? No. Okay, so we're gonna need like these ones. This is gonna be an override, and this is gonna be like storage.findAll, and this is also gonna be an override, and this is gonna be a storage create name. Okay, so also like I was just I just noticed that in this other gate we had like storage as well, right? And we called it like find user create user, right? And this is happening because like in the boundary, you know, where it's being used, you don't do the like, you know, Postgres like, because like everything is like in one thing, in this behind this one facade, so you don't want to just have like find and stuff. But it's a personal preference. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just rename it to find all brands, okay? And this one to create brand. Okay, but the boundary will stay like this, was find all, and or maybe not. Yeah, let's now let's keep them like a little bit separate so that we see like a little bit of a difference here. Like usually like in a real application, and if this was like Scala 3, you will very often have code inside of your business logic, right? Inside of the core of your application that doesn't do anything, right? It just delegates to like database, right? Like, let's be honest, like most of us write wrappers around database, right? And so like in Scala 3, I would be very tempted to just go like this, right? And then just like not worry about this, right? And therefore, like this, not technique, but like this feature in Scala will like heavily drive the naming of my methods. Okay, so I would not like have this different naming, that just so that like this thing like you know, works, right? Even though like you could go like this, right? They're sort of like reverse of imports. Oh my god, GitHub Copilot is so amazing. Like how did it figure this out? You know? But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, so I think I was gonna say that even though you can do it like this, it's much easier to just like keep the naming consistent. Let me grab some water real quick. All right, sorry, got a message. Okay, so by the way, guys, feel free to ask questions. I don't want this whole thing to be like a monologue. Okay, and yeah, please don't forget to hit the like button. This way, people will, you know, more people will stumble on this thing. Okay, so we're pretty much done here, right? At the core level, we have, you know, we have our business logic. Just delegate straight to the gate because there isn't any business logic, and we're pretending like the gate is like some sort of facade, right? And in order to construct the gate, we will need to give like all the components of the facade, and there's only one right now, so there it is. Okay, so this means that we can already commit this to is it day 15? I think it's day 15, right? Yeah, day 15. So we're gonna go and implement this storage now, right? So super simple. We go to, I should have the consistent naming like between storage and persistence. It's just that like storage is shorter, but persistence is so much more common. I believe consistency is more important though. So let's go with persistence. So we're gonna go like to do rename to persistence. Like, okay, let's shove it in the previous commit. We have like so many to dos, right? Like renaming, blah, and whatever. Like this, right? Okay. Well, not that many, but alright. So we're going to go and so over here we call them storage Postgres, really? Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, I guess so. I guess this is the naming that we're gonna go with, right? And then like every time we have a storage, like it's gonna have like this shape, right? So we are here, and new file, and it's gonna be brands. Actually, hold on. We can create a new folder, and we're gonna call it brands. And now we're just gonna copy this thing, and we're gonna go over there and we're gonna paste it. Okay. So now we just need to make sure that we are in brands over here. This thing is gone. We can pretty much leave this stuff over here. And okay, it seems like it's like a pattern that we're going for here, like that. Okay. So we have like private object with a bunch of stuff, and yeah. So it's all good, like this. Whoopsie. And that's going to be, well, it's a private object, right? So we might as well just go with SQL, right? Cool. Dev inside you, it's branding, not brands. Branding, okay? And so we need to go rename this thing. Oh, what's up, Python man? Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're gonna go party and stuff. All right, so we can call this SQL, and therefore we pretty much go and go to like this one, right? And we can rename it to SQL. All right. Oh, actually, I saw that Gabriel was like using them outside. So eventually they won't be. I know, but it's still fine. I think it's still fine. We'll be fine. All right. So this is the thing. We should probably have this here like that, like that, like that. And yeah, so let's go steal some stuff. So we're gonna have brands, which is over here. So, well, we don't have like too much to change, right? So we can just get this, go here, and go like that. There's gonna be an override. There's gonna be an override. And so now we'll just need a couple of these things. Yeah, so we're just gonna need like select all and insert brand. Like this is how Skunk works. So they will all be here. So we're just gonna go down like this, grab them, go here, and go like this, paste them. Ta-da! All right. So it says like brand ID and brand name not found value. Okay, which means that they come from somewhere. Where do they come from? Okay, so there's like a global thing with codecs. Do we have that? We don't have that. Like this is again like one of those things that is so annoying in Scala too, right? Like I hate having like these global objects, right? So he has like an object like was codecs, right? And so all of the use cases, right, need to go into this companion object, right? And there's like, well, into this object, and there's no like other like good way. You can spread them out like in other objects, but then you need to like import them and stuff. I believe we had some stuff like source codes, right? Yeah, so we did something like this. So let's try that. Well, we have like user ID and username. Do we not need to have that somewhere? Like, did we not need to do that in our other storage thing? We did user ID, username. Okay, so this is what we did before. Okay, so we already, yeah. By the way, let's do that. Okay, so yeah, like as you can see, like I don't like these big objects, and therefore we're gonna go grab these two and just put them over here like this, like that, like that. All right. Okay, so we did a copy paste. Okay, so this is find all brands, right? And this is like create brand, right? And that's it. Like this is exactly how it was supposed to be, right? That, you know, we just copy paste a couple of things. There's no business logic, so it's all gonna be fine. It's all gonna stay like pretty much the same. All right, so let's shove it in, which means that we should go and grab the controller. So the controller is the HTTP stuff. Okay, so which means we need to find like, okay, hold on. Find all is used in routes and create is used in admin brand routes. Okay, so this is another thing that that I usually do differently, because like in an ideal world, you would write your application, I call it like view first or front end first or test first. And so the first thing that I would write would be the controller. And so if I have a controller that calls like find all, I would create a boundary just for this controller, because I'm writing my application not just for fun. I'm writing it to implement my, you know, in this case, HTTP routes, like whatever I'm interested in creating this interaction with the outside world. So this is the first component that I'm going to write, my HTTP routes, and then whatever they need, right? Instead of writing your business application first and then see how to like shove it into the controller. And so therefore, like what I'm trying to get at is that I would probably have two traits, you know, like one is like two, like it's pretty much exactly like we did for the authentication. Remember, I was like, there's something fishy here. Okay, so I went and we did like authentication and then middleware, and there was a middleware admin, right? So like this boundary, which has like authentication middleware, and over here this one implements the same boundary, right, which is a different thing. Okay, so we'll probably end up having several controllers. And by the way, probably in the very end, which is going to make me very happy, we're going to solve this problem that I had like on Monday, right? And this problem was that I wanted to have the ability to have both open routes and routes in the same controller. And I think I don't want to do that, right? And therefore this will become a disjunctive union, and therefore it will make like so many, like a couple of things, you know, easier. Okay, so let's go again to wherever we were. Okay, so find all is used only in brand routes. So we're going to do only this one, and then we're going to move the admin underneath. Okay, Why did a case close? I really don't know why it's case closed. Anyway, we're gonna pin this one, and we're gonna close the others, and we're gonna go into delivery, right? So Shopee, and we're gonna go new Scala file, just new file, and it's gonna be branding controller. All right. Oh, hey man, what up? I still don't know where you're at, so I don't know if it's morning for you or evening. Okay, how did we do this with that one, for example? Okay, so control implementation and then control.open. Yeah, so that's pretty much how we did it. So we're gonna copy this. I'm gonna go like this, and gonna close it here, and we're gonna need the boundary, and it doesn't need anything weird, like, and should I? Yeah, let's go like this. All right, so this is gonna be new, and let's see. Yeah, well, no. No. Can I do like, no, I can't. Okay, new controller.open or F like this. And let's see if you can go like this. There we go. Yeah. One of the things that I love to do with traits like this is to put these types in there, like an alias. Yeah, I do. Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, I do have the we're almost done energy. I do. Like Monday was like a disaster. In fact, like even today, like the whole day I was feeling like super tired, but right now it's like I just want to get something done. You're right. So what I was gonna say is that I love to like hide the inside of these guys, right? So I love to do something like this. Don't do this at work, but I really love to do this, right? So I just call it like this, right? And it's like org http4s dot http routes like this. Hold up. Yeah, hold up. Okay. Yeah, sure. Well, we could even. No, I don't want to like. Yeah, it's annoying that it has a parameter. But yeah. So basically, like this thing allows me to do that, right? So I can go like to the end and just go like this and like this, right? So it's like super funky, right? Because now like over here I can just go like this, right? And I don't need this import, right? So all of my controllers, they never need this import, and they can just always say like HTTP routes, and it's like this type F, okay? And by the way, let's make it final, right? So this is the final type. Okay, because in Scala, like we're in trade, so we can like override and stuff. But we're not gonna do this today. Okay, it's just like I just noticed it, and I think it's fun. Thing to do. In Scala 3, it's a little bit less necessary because you have global exports. Okay. All right. So we need to like kind of keep driving. f alone, and therefore we need to now import it. Okay, it's not a big deal because we're probably gonna go like this anyway. All right, so where is our did I close it? Yeah, print routes. There we go. So okay, first let's copy it and paste it. Okay, so this is our open routes, right? So delete here, paste here, go like that, like this. Okay. Okay. So we have this, we have that. Maybe like this will actually even compile, you know? Okay. So I did something very wrong. Hold on. Let me just do this because like this is not how we do it, right? So so in the end we're doing like a router, right? And this is a router with like one thing, right? Which gets like the brands, which is a prefix, and it's a tuple, and then we need to produce the HTTP routes. Okay, and we do this by doing like HTTP routes of f like that, and this is our route. Okay, and over here this is boundary. Okay, so one big thing here is that like even like so it's gonna start like barking at us because of you know, because we need imports, because we need like a monad and whatever, like whatever we need, right? But like one of the important things that we're going to need is that we don't have the codecs, right? So no, whatever. Not found value. Okay, so that's it. Okay, I'm just gonna, my god, imports. Okay, it says that it needs a monad. Why does it need a monad? Does HTTP4 SDSL want a monad? I'm just curious. Hold up. Okay, the router I guess wants a monad. Yeah, the router wants a monad. All right, cool. So we at least need a monad. And hold up, I wanted to go like this, right? Like that. Okay, so we have this one, we have that one. All right. Okay, so I believe we're done. That like so it's barking at us like with the wrong error message. I believe. Oh no, I know. Hold on. We forgot to do that thing, HTTP4 SDSL. Okay, so this is going to be the controller with that thing for F. Okay, yes, and so now it says okay, so I cannot convert from a list of brand to an entity because no entity encoder is there. Okay, so, we need to do the same thing as we did for the users, and we're always gonna like go back to this because every time like I forget how to do this, right? So let's see how we did the okay, so I don't want to do this like super by hand. Okay, so I believe in this case we actually need to go like this, right? Like that thing. Okay, so so we only need an encoder. Okay, so we just need to derive an encoder. Okay, so it's going to be the method. So remember if there's an, no, there's no F, right? So we can go like this. Okay, so we need to go to the boundary, we need to go to brand, right? And we need to like copy this thing, put it over here. Okay, so we need these things, and we need well, we only need the encoder, right? So this is in, yep. Okay. Okay, so we also need one for the brand ID, and I just don't remember how to do it. It's a new type, so we can go and do dot derive, I believe, right? Let's see. Brand ID encoder, which is an encoder for brand ID, which is going to be brand ID dot, was it derive? This is encoder from source. Was it not? Was it? I think we did this in the config stuff. Nope. Nope. Oh yeah, I remember. We have this thing called source codecs. Okay, so we need to do like something like this. Deriving, not okay, so it's deriving. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and so now we need the same thing for the brand name. Okay, so it's like this, and okay, so oh no, change to E. There you go, name. Name and brand name. Cool. So now we have an encoder for the brand. It's just that like the last thing that we need to do is we need to convert the domain brand into this one. Okay. So chimney would be ideal for this, but I don't want to add things. You know, I don't want to put like more things into the class path. So we're gonna go like brand, and we're gonna go from domain. So we're gonna put in brand, which is a domain brand, and we're going to produce like this brand. Okay. Actually, what was it saying? Yeah, that could be fine. Okay, so now we just need to do a trick over here. We need to go like import dev, and inside you is going to be, well, I think it's, I mean, we can, so what I wanted to do is this, right? I wanted to go like this, dev inside you, Shopee, and then, you know, branding would be like domain, right? Like this is what, branding like this. Is it like dot here? There you go. Okay. And then we would take this and we would flat map. Well, in fact, we would map, right? We would map, and like this is a list, and so what is inside of the list we're going to map to brand dot from domain, right? And for this we need what? Hold on. Oh, yeah, we need the import cats syntax. Okay, so now everything like works. Everybody's happy. Everybody sings Kumbaya. I just wonder if it's worth it, right? Because we could just go like this, brand, right? And now we don't need this thing, right? Because we already need branding, and so like over here we can like distinguish them from each other. All right. We can also do like, so there's a concept of monad transformers, right? And because monads don't compose for every combination for which it is possible to have a monad transformer, you will have a different monad transformer, right? So for example, you would have option T, you would have either T, and so on. However, functors compose much better, and so there needs to be only one transformer for them, which you could call applicative, or you could call it like functor transformer, right? In cats, it's called nested. So instead of this, it technically it performs less optimally because there's some wrapping, right? But it looks like so much more beautiful, right? So you just go like this, right? You say it's a nested map, which means a call map inside of because we have an f of a list, right? And and then take it out again, right? So it's even longer, right? It's even longer, but it just reads so much nicer. So so I'm actually gonna keep it, and I'm gonna go like this, like that, and I'm gonna go like this. Actually, I'm not sure if we can do that. Can we do that? No. Okay, so the way Gabriel configured the formatting is that it's not gonna let us do this anyway. Okay, and now it's not gonna rewrite them for me. So we're gonna leave this. There we go. It's all good. For now, these ones can even be made private. And the givens in Scala 3 are lazy, so we're gonna go like this. Oh, and now we're getting this weird stuff. Alright, so we're gonna go add Scala annotation, no warn, and the category is going to be unused, like this, here and here. Alright, this is cool, which means that we can go and assemble this thing. And assembling these things is like my favorite thing to do. So because you can just copy paste stuff. All right. So we go like over here, right? And we're gonna go grab. Well, first of all, we need a folder, right? So we're gonna go like new folder branding, right? And so now we're gonna grab like this, for example, and we're just gonna copy it and we're just gonna throw it in there. Okay. So now we're just gonna make sure that this is branding. Throw this out. Leave all the imports, leave all of this stuff. We know that we only need Postgres, right? And we're not going to return an f of anything, right? So we're just going to return a control.open, okay? And so we're just going to like do control implementation.make, right? There's some stuff that we don't need. And there's some middleware that we don't need, okay? So we need a boundary needs a gate needs only storage, and that's it. All right, so I guess we don't need that, and I guess we don't need that. We probably also don't need that, and I'm not even sure if we need async. Okay, so I couldn't find. Oh yeah, so we actually did need GenuUID. Okay, so what else do we need? Cancel throw. Okay, so monad cancel throw. Not that we care, but cancel throw. All right, there you go. So this is the whole dependency injection. You know, people usually are afraid of dependency injection for some reason, but it's actually very trivial. All right, so now we can go and assemble it in the program, right? Which is like the place that is still like kind of ugly. Okay, so we're gonna go like this, and we're gonna call it well, branding what? Just branding? I think we can just go branding like this. No, but we already have a package called branding. So let's just for now, like until it compiles, let's just go like brand stuff. Okay. Over here, we're gonna go branding, di, make, Postgres. Okay. And it doesn't give us an app of stuff, right? So we're gonna go pure. Oh, just pure. Okay. So I called it brand stuff because I don't think that we can call it branding. Oh, we can? Interesting. Cool. We can call it. All right. And so over here, we're going to go like branding open routes. Which is something that I didn't really like. That we need to like manually like rip out the open routes. But I'm suspecting like, again, in the end that I'm going to force everything to not have both the open routes and the admin routes. And then we're going to do like a big refactoring, and this thing is going to be better. Okay, so we're gonna shove it in. All right, and let's see how many of you guys here right here. All right, don't forget to hit the like button, please. So YouTube says 3, but I cannot rely on that thing. So yeah, anyhow, we're actually not done. So if you remember, the boundary for the branding actually contains create as well, right? And so what I want to do is I want to create a sub module for this. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go branding. I'm just gonna go with like new folder. I'm gonna call it admin, right? And I'm going to copy this boundary, paste it over there. Okay, so it's gonna be package admin, right? And so over here, we're going to have just the create. And therefore, we're going to go like this, right? Okay. So it doesn't have a gate as of right now. There's no way in hell that it compiles. Oh, yeah, it actually compiles because it uses the gate from up there. So let's actually copy the gate and put it over here. Okay. And this gate is going to only have like the create brand like this. Not this one, okay? And it needs to be in package admin, okay? Like this. And therefore, this thing works, okay? So we're going to remove these unnecessary ones from this one in just a second, because like this way we're gonna need to like copy paste less. So if we go to like our persistence, source, branding, storage Postgres, over here, right? So we're going to do like new folder, and we're going to go admin, and we're going to copy this. I'm going to paste it over there. Okay. So let's not forget to do like package admin. I did this in the other boundary, right? Like in that one. Right. This is inside of admin. Oh no, hold on. Why are we here? If I had time to learn a new language, which one? You choose Go, Rust, and Haskell. Rust. So I have two choices, like Haskell and Rust. It's just that I probably would not learn too much if I went the Haskell route, because I already know a lot of functional programming. So it would be more like I don't know, learning the syntax and maybe a couple of libraries, the ecosystem and stuff. However, Rust is way more interesting to me, also because I'm a content creator and Rust is like blowing up because it's blazingly fast. Rust is interesting for me because I have never been interested in low-level programming, and but Rust like does it in such a way that the type system is so interesting, because you have linear types, that I think it would be enough to attract me. Like if I had like, do you guys watch what's it called, Tooling Talks, the podcast that Chris is doing? Chris, what's his last name? Chris Kip. Um, at the end, he always asks like if you had like 6 months of time, like no obligations, no anything, like what would you work on? And like for me, it would be something like this, something like learning Rust. If I decided to learn another language. But I appreciate that you're asking me, but you need to know it for yourself, right? I think you were the one who asked me last time, like, what is like the better language? And again, like, because like for me, the purpose would be just to learn, just to improve me, like myself, like generally, like as a programmer, to improve my skill. However, like if I like get a job and they do Go, which I'm not gonna do, but like hypothetically, then the answer would be like, I'm gonna learn Go, because that's what I need, right? But like out of just curiosity, definitely Rust. Also, Rust, I believe Rust people also like Nix, and I like Nix. So, yeah, it would be definitely Rust. And by the way, even if you didn't, if you had not given me this list, I would have still chosen Rust. I want to go to this boundary and making sure that we have an admin. Okay, we do. Cool. So this is the admin thing, which means that we don't have that thing, right? We just have the create brand. Now here we need to be very careful with what we're like throwing out. Okay, so we can throw out select all. And this would also mean that we're gonna need to move the codec. It is so painful, so painful that there are no type level objects, type level definitions. I'm sorry. Like what's going on through my head is that these 4 things are required like in the branding, right? And only this one is required here, plus obviously like the brand ID, brand name stuff, right? So we cannot just go like this, I believe, right? Because then we don't have a codec, and well, we don't need select all. Okay, so select all we can remove, right? Okay, but we need the codec to do the insert brand, right? How does it actually work? Yeah, we're generating the ID. Yeah, we're generating the ID here somewhere, right? Yeah, ID make. We're generating the ID on the client side. Yeah, that's how we can like get away with this thing. By the way, if this was my application, check this out. This is super important. Like, it's really important to me. Generally, people don't care about this too much. I know. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, no, it's fine. Okay, it's all good. Yeah, no. I just looked wrong. Okay, so the thing is that like I really want to throw these things out, but if I wanted to do that, right, I would need to also import, and this is something that I'm going to do, right? I would need to import like one level up, right? Shopee dot, well, actually just branding, right? Branding, storage, blah blah blah. .sql like this. Okay, as of right now it's private, so it's not gonna let me do this. What do you mean? An object cannot be accessed. Yeah, exactly. So please jump there. Right, like we can go like this, right? And we can go like branding, okay? And then it's like problem solved. In fact, in this case, this is like the best thing that we can do, because usually like the way like this thing is done is that like usually like these private things, they don't help you much, because of the way this thing is assembled, right? So at the very bottom, like in the main, when you assemble this whole thing, you're still in that package, so you still see this stuff. But for now it's fine. Okay, so it's fine like this. And so like this one just has the insert, does not need like these things, those things, which means we can start like removing things from here. Okay, so like over here we don't need the create brand, and which means that we don't need the insert, right? But we need like everything else. Okay, it barks at us right now because we over here we have the create brand, we don't need that, we don't need that. There we go. Okay, so now everything here is fine. No, it should be fine. Hold on. Yeah, that's fine. So now we don't have the create over here, and we don't have it over here. Right. Okay, so there we go, and therefore we don't need the GenuID. Exactly. Right, like this. Let's jump to like I really like to just like press F8 and it would like jump to the next thing. And so I really don't like that something like an info bothers me. So annotation.no1. So it just like captures my click on the keyboard, and then it like jumps there. We cannot put an annotation like in any random place. Okay, yeah, and exactly. And so now we don't need the GenuID over here. Okay. Cool. So now that we have all of that, so now that it's all split, we can actually go into the original brands, right? And we can see where create was used, and we see it was used like in a very different place, right? It was used like in admin brand routes, right? So we're gonna pin that one, close the others. Okay, so we're gonna go into the branding controller, right? I'm gonna create a new folder, admin, copy and paste. All right, so same thing over here, package admin, and there you go. Okay, so this is going to be tricky because I forgot how we did this whole middleware thing. I believe we put it in the constructor. So before I save the file, I'm gonna go to like that one. Yeah, we did. Okay, so we're gonna need this thing. Gonna need to put it here, and it's gonna be like for the admin user. Okay, and also, how did we use it? Oh, actually, by the way, look, this one. Okay, so this one had authenticated routes, but it did not have open routes and admin routes. Exactly. Yeah, I'm really liking like my idea. I think we're gonna do today instead of this transaction thing. I think we're gonna try that thing today. Okay, so what I wanted to find was that thing. Okay, so this is how you do this, right? You just wrap it in authentication middleware, and then you do like auth routes dot off and blah blah blah, and this is how you get it. Okay, so this is not an open controller anymore. Okay, so this is gonna be like the admin controller. Okay, admin, and therefore we have like admin routes. Okay, it's okay. So this is also something that I don't like. We're gonna move it. Okay, move it to job. Like, I hate when I need imports to my own stuff. You know, I don't want to have import dev inside you something, right? Like dev inside you shop, yeah, I mean, right? I could have a library in dev inside you, but even that, yeah. Great. What are you talking about? Like, is the delay so huge that? Are you talking about the podcast, like Chris's podcast? You're scaring me. We need to check the delay, like ASMP. Hold up. Did I say ASMP? ASAP. Hold on. Hold on. I need to respond to a message. Hold on. All right, so until she replies. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm going to say a number, and I'm gonna answer your question a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna say a number. So okay, hold on. First thing, like over here, like when you're watching a stream, click the live button to make sure that you're like, you know, you're actually live, because like YouTube has this thing called DVR, which means like while the stream is live, you can still go back and like watch things at double speed or something, right? So make sure that you're live by clicking on the live button, right? You click live, it just goes to the end. So I'm gonna wait a tiny second to make sure that everybody actually heard what I just said. All right, so clock. Okay, so the way we do this is I always just say a random number. As soon as you hear the number, just type it in, okay? So today the number is going to be 8. Just type it in when you hear it. Oh, okay, just 9 seconds. 9 seconds, I think, is the best that we have ever done. So it's not like too much delete. Okay. Have I worked with LLVM before? What do you think about it? I have never worked with it before, but from from what you're hearing from it, which is usually just like marketing and stuff, it's very useful. But I have no experience, like because like I don't know, like when people like write a library, they like promote it like crazy as if they're getting money from it somehow. It's just like we're getting satisfaction from like people using our stuff, and eventually maybe there's some money in it, right? So yeah, but somehow people say like it's a bad thing. It's like it solves concurrency, like no race conditions, whatever, and then you go use it, and then it's like always, because you can't fight physics, So zero experience with LLVM, and therefore I have no idea if it's if it's any good. But from what you read, it's cool. Really? Oh, we abstracted everything away. Really? Oh, that's gonna bite us in the neck right now. Or not, we'll be fine. There's probably some hard-coded stuff in our in our other controller, right? Like here. Wait, what? That's a different one. We imported the wrong one. Org HTTP for us. So it should be like this, right? What? Hold up. No, not this one. Off middleware. Okay. So now we're running into name conflicts. So we need to be very specific over here, because it should be visible, right? Like I have no idea why it's confused. What do you mean? It was there. Was it like in some thing? And I didn't see it? Like is it in some... Okay, so it's in like server defaults. Why is it like... No, it ends here. Server. Okay, hold on. Like this. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna import it, but I still don't like it. So wait, hold on. You heard the H just now? No way. Dude, like refresh the page or something. You're like minutes behind. Yeah, you're like minutes behind. Tell me what's your internet speed? I believe you were the one who like last time we streamed, I believe you were the one who was saying that the page is not loading or something, right? And then you like refresh the page or something, and then it was fine, right? Which Vim plugin I'm using? It's the plugin that embeds NeoVim. It's this one by Alexey Svetlakov. Right, this one. I can actually, I think if I click here, right, and then it ends up here, and so I can copy it and I can paste it for you over here. Hola! All right, don't forget to hit the like button so that more people stumble on this. Okay, so we wanted to compile this thing. Did it actually? I think it should have. Okay, you got the link, right? Okay, cool. So this one, okay. So to do move. All right. So this is a copy paste, right? So we need to go steal it from the real one, which I pinned, right? Okay, so there's like a brand param, which we don't have. Okay. Right. Yeah, so you see how it's like under brands. But remember, like when the entire application is assembled, is it 30 megabit down? It is, I hope, right? Remember, like when the entire application is assembled, what Gabriel does is that if it's an admin route, he puts another router in there, so it's going to be under admin/brands. Okay, so this is what we need, and I'm just going to put it here, and I'm going to comment it out like this. Okay, so I'm just going to type it out. So router is going to stay the same, brands is going to stay the same. So now we're going to go like this, and we're going to wrap this in authentication middleware. Okay, and therefore it's not going to be HTTP routes, it's going to be auth routes. Okay, so it's going to be this. Okay, and then, well, this we can pretty much copy paste. Okay, so it's going to be like the same as in previous, in the previous one. We don't have the encoders. In fact, in this case, we're also going to need the decoders, and we don't even have brand param. Okay, but let's save this for now. Okay, wrong number of type arguments, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is going to be boundary, right? So for SJSON, we need IOSRCs. Yeah, I guess you reloaded the page, right? And now everything's fine. Wrong number of arguments. Hold on. Most routes off, and then you give it a pattern match. No, this should be fine. The whole thing goes into, yeah, and then goes into HTTP routes. Yeah, it should be fine. Just that it really needs this one, this brand param, which is here. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so now we're like running into issues, right? Because we already have, well, we kind of got lucky. We keep getting lucky, actually, with this thing. So this is a new type, and we already have a package object called branding. So now we're going to create a package object like for admin, but we're going to create it on the delivery layer, which is so, how I wish it was Scala 3. Especially because we're not using something like Chimney anyway. All right, so just let me make sure that we don't have a package object for admin. So we do for authentication malware. Okay. So yeah, so over here we're gonna have like a new Scala file. All right. So we're gonna grab the brand param, and in fact, I'm so lucky that I don't have to figure this thing out because brand param is only necessary over here. And over here we have all of the types that are necessary to make this compile. So all I need is a bunch of imports. All right. Notice the query param. Like this is our extension, our thing. Well, I mean Gabriel did it, but it's like our thing. Yeah, so it says like not found value query param, which is just an extension for Derivo. I'm saying just as if I know freaking how to do it. I need to spend some time with Derivo. It's a really cool library, as I already mentioned. There it is. Okay. Wow. That was this is frustratingly easy. Night night. Buenas noches. I don't speak Spanish. I hope this was right. I believe we already had an extension, right? And we put it somewhere else. Can you explain what this phrase means? Always try to push your set effects to the edge of your app. Let me actually pin this one. I haven't done this in a long time. So like this and like whoopsie daisy. Where's the button? Highlight. There we go. Ta-da! The answer is I don't know what this means. I'm kidding. So what was the workshop? Like, if you give me more context. So the thing is that like there's this thing that people say that you should have like a functional core and an imperative shell. I don't know if I agree. Like because like these days we have techniques like tagless final or zero or whatever, and so we don't need to do this anymore. We can have our functional core and we can have our functional edge, and therefore there's nothing to push outside. But like I believe like initially like here's the thing, like all of this like architecture and all of this stuff, it really shines when you actually do have business logic, right? Like again, like look at this. Not here. Hold on. Here, right? There's no business logic here, right? It just delegates to the gate, and the gate is just like a database implementation somewhere at the end of the day, right? You don't need architecture for this, which is how like Gabriel did it, you know? It's just like, you know, just like the routes, and they just basically go straight to a database, Everything is in one. So you can go into your HTTP code and write like skunk code, which is, you know, the Postgres driver. Yeah, like I have a video like, so this whole playlist is about like what I call diamond architecture, but diamond architecture is all architectures are based on these levels and stuff. And like the way I do this is like as I explained in the video, and we're not going to spend too much time on this because, you know, I have a dedicated video about this. Is that you have your business logic like at the very, very top. Then you have a bunch of things that either call into the core of your application, which contains the business logic, or it's a bunch of things that the business logic needs to operate, like side effects. Like, for example, let's say that your business logic says, okay, like when this and this happens, I'm going to send an email. Obviously, the sending of the email is not going to happen in your business logic, right? But the business logic is going to say, hey, thingy, send the email, and then something somewhere down there in another level, in another layer, will actually send the email. So some people say like this is the edge, right? Like if you keep, so basically like over here the main would be the edge, right? So you have the business logic, and you have like the second layer, and then you have like the main, and so like at the very end you're gonna have like this is like your edge, right? And so like for quite some time people were saying, okay, have a functional core, but like where you have like a lot of business logic, where you have to like reason about stuff, where you have to like write tests, you have some complicated computation, oh yeah, sorry, you have some what's it called? You have some like really complicated things, complicated types, complicated logic, complicated computations, complicated tests in the business logic, right? Have it like functional, and then like once you actually need to send an email, or once you actually need to like store something in a database, just like have a call on some interface, and then the implementation will actually do that stuff. So the implementation will be at the edge, which means like at the lower level. Okay, but all it means is that your business logic simply calls a function on an interface, right? So gate is also just an interface, and the implementation is somewhere else in the edge. All right, cool, you got it. Nice. Now you have to remind me what we were doing. Oh yeah, we wanted to do this query prompting. We wanted to put it somewhere. Here. Right. I just don't remember where we put it. Oh, it's an object. So we can put it wherever we want. I'm just trying to remember, because I think we already did this with something else, and I want to like keep doing it. Okay, here, refine.scala. So yeah, now I remember. Okay, so we're just gonna copy it, and we're gonna put it in dev inside. So it's not even in Shopee. Okay, so it's like this. So derive, we probably have derive. No? Oh yeah, correct. So this needs to be dev inside here. Ta-da! All right, so we have this now, and which means here this will compile. There's something still wrong. Cannot find implicit value for parameter. Query param decoder of non-empty string. Do we not have? We have all of this stuff. Interesting. By the way. So this means that. Sorry that I'm jumping around like crazy. I'm losing this thing all the time. Oh, okay. So we probably need like one of these. Oh, we have them. Hold on. Shop optics UID. Are we doing something with optics here? No, we don't. We have these imports. Oh, look, we have things that are inside of refined. Yeah, so this is again like, oh, it bothers me so much that we need to do this. Yeah. Okay, now we cannot organize the imports, right? Because everything needs to compile for this to work for some reason. So we need to do this first. All right, so wrong number of type parameters. I don't understand this. It is the perfect amount of arguments. Let's see. Authentication middleware. Oh, okay. There's a second one. Why did I not see it? I jump into off. It shows me only this. So it jumps into the wrong place. It's annoying. All right. Okay, so this decode R comes from one of the context bounds, which is this one. So we need pretty much the JSON decoder and throw. Yep, that one. Come on. Cats package. Yeah, cats, please. All right. Is that a number of requests? Did you mean the... Huh. Oh, it's in refined. So again, we need the import to the refined stuff. Okay, import dev inside you. Refined. It would be so good if it was a top level thing. All right. Can I find implicit value for this parameter decoder of brand param? Wait. We did. Why is there no encoder? Because this is a copy paste. Why is there no encoder? See, there's no encoder. This is weird, right? Because I can go in there and I can say, well, decoder, right? Like I can go in, well, hold on, are we in admin? That's why. Oh, no. No, we have package object gaming. Okay, so why do we not have decoder over here? Right? And now like this thing compiles. Like how did it work here that he did not need to do that? What did he import that like magically made it work? How did he not need to do that? That's why. Why did he do this separately? Oh. So the brand parameter is going to become the brand name. And why keep it separate? Well, because you want to hang the query param on it. And so when the brand param is going to be sent as JSON, it's going to look like name. But why not just call it name? Does it need to be called value? Does new type force you to call it value? No, it doesn't. I really don't think that, you know, what Gabriel did was necessary. Or maybe I'm not understanding something. Again, like in our case, it doesn't matter much. Again, we don't really care about like bugs and stuff. Which is a very convenient thing to have. But like, do you guys see this? Like, do you see like a necessity for this? Like, to me, it looks like what's the value? It's not empty string, right? So why not just call it name and then call it a day? Yeah, I don't know why he did this. Anyhow, so we're good now. We're good here. We need to clean up all of that stuff. Let's see. Do we need this? We don't. Probably. Oh, okay. This one we actually did need. And this one? Oh, wait. Okay, so now we're running into this issue that, well, it's not an issue. You know, we're duplicating the encoder, right? So we have the brand ID encoder over here and over here as well. Where is it? Here, right? And when we were over here in like users off, we had a similar situation, and we had a thing called Cersei Codex, which I don't see where it is. Where do we have Cersei Codex? Oh, we had it like in a completely different place. But yeah, we're gonna go with the same kind of pattern. Or not. Do we care? Well, we kind of do care because it affects compilation, and this is what we care about, right? So we're gonna go here. It doesn't make much sense to hide them. So we're gonna go like this. just gonna throw this thing in there, and then we're gonna import source codecs like this. Yeah, this happens sometimes, and what you need to do is you need to go here and put it in there. No, if we put it in here, we'll need braces, so we might as well put it here. Come on. Oh yeah, okay, hold on. Yeah. So we don't, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna move this one. This one we're gonna move back inside. I think it's gonna be better like this. Right, therefore like these ones cannot be private any longer. Means we don't need these ones, and we're gonna do it like this. Why? Oh yeah, the import is now here. So let's have it here. Let's see if we can have it here. We can. Nice. Can we make this one private? Nice. We can. Cool. So now we have like these source codecs, and now we can go over here, and we can just import them. And therefore we're not gonna need this. Okay, nice. All right, which means we can go back here, save it real quick, and move it into its own file. Save all. Remove that. Go like this. Come on. Come on. Come on. Why? Why are you doing this? Right, I guess I'll need to do it by hand. Press something and it died. Hold on, maybe. Oh yeah, it sometimes happens that I switch my layout to German, and then nothing works in Vim. All right. How many of you guys are here? Please never forget to hit the like button when I'm streaming. This way, like, people can stumble on the stream and stuff. All right. So, which means like this thing I can now do with my macro. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So, we have this. We have that. We have that. Cool. So now we can assemble it. Okay. So oh, how did branding end up in users? This is not what was supposed to happen. It's supposed to be like this. All right. Whoop. Okay. So new folder, admin, copy, paste. This is admin. And over here, so this is admin. And it needs It needs the boundary, but it also needs the authentication middleware, which we can steal from, I believe it was here. Yep. So we can grab it like this, put it here like this. It's just that it's going to be admin user. Please. Whatever, admin user, which means comma, authentication middleware equals authentication middleware. All right, okay, this is why metals couldn't help me. It's this one. And yes, so this is like still a to do. Cannot find implicit evidence of new UID. Okay, this is correct. Gen UID. JSON decoder for, wait, what? What? All right, I guess we just need to go like this, right? All right. So this is still like a to do, move it to Shopee or even them setting. Almost done. And so in the program, we can go like branding admin, admin.di, and it needs the admin auth middleware, which we have this underscore over here. Okay, there we go. Okay, what does it say? Value admin is not a member of. Okay, so now we're running into issues with this, right? So this is going to be branding, branding controller or something like this. Okay, so again, we're gonna like refactor this whole thing massively at some point. Okay, so this is the branding controller, and now we finally have the first admin stuff, right? Exactly. So now we're gonna have over here, we're gonna have a list of branding admin routes. Okay. So we finished for today. There's a bunch of stuff to like change and refactor. We will do a couple of things right now. Just like the fast things. Like one is that like this thing, like we really need to move it. So let's see. So we're at the very top, and we have a package for this one is for users. No worries. This is art. Not really. It's when you first learn this stuff, it's like, but then like recently I've been thinking, like this whole tagless final thing, it's really good for learning this stuff, for learning functional programming, for really understanding it, functional reasoning, parametric polymorphism, parametric reasoning, theorems for free, even free monads. Like, have you seen the video that Daniel just did by Rock to JVM, from Rock to JVM? All of this stuff is really good for learning. However, like once you've used it for like a year or two, it's like once you have developed this habit of like doing it like the right way anyway, I started to find that it's more of a distraction, that it's more of a more of an annoyance. Like most of the effects that you have, like especially like in your lower levels, like in Postgres and stuff, it's most of the time it's a mono throw, and also like all of these things, you know, like you look at this and you see, okay, well, there's some JSON decoding happening, there's a generation of a UUID happening, okay, but for the most part, it's a mono throw, you know. So it's not this whole effect tracking thing. It's even ignoring the fact that it's not bulletproof. Even if it was like, maybe if it was bulletproof, maybe I would go, okay, it's so useful that I would be like, okay, I'm gonna be fine with this annoyance. But since it's not bulletproof anyway, it's like, I don't know. I really think that ZO is the future. The future of Scala. Because it's just so streamlined. Streamlined is the word that I'm looking for. It's just streamlined. The whole naming is streamlined, you know, like you just go like import ZO and that's it. And if you need, I don't know, SQL, it's like ZO SQL, or if you need HTTP, it's ZO HTTP. You know, it's like if you need, I don't know. By the way, I actually don't know if ZO SQL exists. Probably not, but you get the point. It should be just ZO SQL. But I believe it's gonna be, what's it called? What's that macro thing called that Alex is doing? Alex Ayofe. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Quill, yeah. I was first. Yeah, so it's probably gonna be like ZO Quill or Quill or just Quill. I don't know, historical reasons. Anyhow, we wanted to move the admin user to probably here. Right. Let's see if we can go to admin user and just like grab, oh, not this one. Like grab this thing. Well, let's just grab this thing and then remove what we don't need. Yeah, so it's pretty much going to be like this. It's just that it's going to be called Shopee. And it's very annoying because like there's only like, oh, we need a user. Oh man. Where's our user? Yeah, so we're gonna move the user up as well. It's gonna be like this, like that. Oh no. We're starting with this whole chain of stuff. So now we need to move user ID and we need to move user ID and username. So now that we have this, we can, oh yeah, we can do that. Come on, go to the next error. There's no way in hell that there's no other error. Did I not remove? Hold on, branding DI. Okay, I did not remove this one. That's why there's no other error. Cascade all. This error should not exist. Oh, I did not move the user. I copied the user. Or maybe it's incremental compilation. No, I forgot. I copied it. Where's the delete? Delete permanently at the very bottom. Alright. Okay, so now we can remove this, and we can. There should be another one, right? Somewhere. Did you read the article of Dego's The False Hope of Managing Effects of Stateless Final Scala? What do you think? Yeah, I read it, but I don't remember exactly like what he said in there. Yeah, it's pretty much what I just. You know, the thing is that like I'm unbiased, right? Like John Dego is like he's biased, like he's pushing this whole Zio thing. I just happen to agree with him. Like in the beginning, I didn't. In the beginning, I looked at it like with suspicion, like okay, it's marketing. But like over time, like as I said in the very first video of mine about Zio, I really believe that it's the future. And like when I said it, I still preferred Tegless Final, and I preferred Tegless Final until I made the video Extreme Effect Tracking. If you have seen it. Once I made that video, I was like, it's just not worth it. It's just too much effort for, it's not worth it. Like even for somebody who like you saw, like I can juggle it like pretty confidently. There are some things that I'm like, I forget how to do them and blah, 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 but still, and it's just like, it's just too much effort, too much, what's it called? Too much churn. You just need to have a bunch of things, a lot of things in in the CATS ecosystem, which is, by the way, just to be clear, this is like one of the greatest software that has ever been written. Same goes for like Akka, CATS effect, all of this stuff, right? It's just that like it's going to die, not because, well, first of all, nothing in our industry of that, but like it's going to be less and less used. I don't want to say that it's not user friendly, but it's like it's going to be like a death by, I'm not sure if this is a correct metaphor for this. I wanted to say a death by 1,000 cuts, but there are actually no cuts. It's more like people always complain in Scala about implicits, and people always complain about category theory, because they say like I'm a programmer, I should not need to know this, it's not that this stuff is not useful. It's not that this stuff is not good. It's just that it's too much effort to use it. You know what I mean? It's just too much effort to use it. Like you saw me, like I'm just, I'm too lazy to like figure out which import I need, And I'm not like an expert in Zio, but I hope that it's going to be better. I hope that it's going to be like, I don't know, import Zio and that's it. And then you want a database, okay, import Zio database. If you want like HTTP, okay, import Zio HTTP, and it's just it, Yeah. And notice that I didn't even talk about learning, right? I didn't even mention the fact that learning Zio is much easier than learning Tegless Final. Yeah, but it's more useful to learn techless final. Do you know what I mean? Like it's incredibly useful to understand this stuff. You know, it's incredibly useful like to understand like even category theory, like even just the basics of category theory. You're not gonna use it like in a day to day, but it's like here's the thing, uh, like I'm like classically educated. You know, I have a bachelor's degree, I have a master's degree, and by the way, we're pretty much done for today, so I'm gonna push this thing. Okay, and I'm not even gonna check. Like I don't want to do this today. So we're pretty much done for today. So I'm classically educated, right? Which means that like I did my bachelor's, I did my master's in like something software, right? Computer science, whatever. And in the very first semester we had, so we started like with like there was a little bit of math, right? So there was you know set theory, and when I say set theory, I mean like the absolute basics of set theory. You know, like it was like a relationships and this whole reflexive, transitive, like all of that stuff. And then we had like the Boolean algebra, with all the if and else and normal forms and blah blah blah. And I remember like sitting in one of the math lectures, and the professor said like, and I don't know why I remembered it, right? But he said like in just in a couple of semesters, you're never going to actually think in terms of what you're learning here. It's going to be just super intuitive, right? So you never actually like go like this. And the same goes with like things like category theory, techless final, parametric polymorphism, all of these things. So you don't need to actually like use them every day and think in terms of them, right? It just happens intuitively once you understand it. Like you saw, like I see like some pattern and I'm like, oh, that's just a fold, right? And then I know, okay, fold is a catamorphism, right? So we're just collapsing something, So like, is it something that you use every day? Somehow, yes, but very indirectly. And also like, obviously for me, for someone who's like in the kind of like education business, like for me, obviously it also gives another angle when I want to explain things. I can explain it from the category theory perspective. I can explain it from the techless final perspective. I can explain it from the initial embedding perspective. I can explain it from just simply, go use an effect like Zio. And if you don't understand any of this, I can just tell you, okay, well, Zio is like future, just better. Why is it better? Just don't worry about it. It's just better. Like you're gonna learn about it some other time, right? So from that perspective, it also gives you that. Yeah. Cool. So we did 2 hours. I'm pretty happy with what we achieved today. Hopefully I'm going to see you on Monday. I don't need to go like right now. So if you have more questions, I can chill a little bit. We can chill. We can talk. I do like the background. It's much nicer than this Matrix thing. Have any of you been here like when I streamed for the first time? It looked like this, right? Well, I didn't have a green screen, right? So there was like a frame here, but like I really like that one. It makes it look super cool, I think. Gonna watch that. What do you mean Obi-Wan? Like, is there like a new Star Wars thing? Is there a new Star Wars movie? Yeah, I really like it. Like, I don't know why. Like, I always like this like purple color, which is why like my whole channel is like has like this purple kind of thing. And I found this one. And by the way, do you guys want to learn some video editing kind of like trick? So there's a website called Storyblocks, which a bunch of content creators are sponsored by them. They give you like stock footage, right? So stuff that you can use, like something like this, right? And like something like this, I downloaded it, but it's actually green. Like the original footage is green. So what I'm gonna do is, and I'm really terrified that my laptop is going to like start overheating. Oh, there's a new Star Wars show. Let's check that first. I'm not a big fan of Star Wars, but I like it. So Star Wars. Okay, hold on. Star Wars. Is it like Obi-Wan? Okay. 3 hours ago. I'm in Brazil, so it suggests everything like in Portuguese to me. Like I have watched Mandalorian, and there was another spin-off, right, of Mandalorian, but I don't know that one. I watched only a couple of episodes, and I don't know, somehow I even forgot that it existed. Um, Star Wars, Obi-Wan. Okay, it's a miniseries. Honestly, I don't have time to watch stuff, but I would like to watch it. Anybody famous there? Nobody so far that I recognize. How many episodes is it gonna be? 6. Okay, so 2 of them are out. And then, okay, and the end of June it's gonna finish. Yeah. I don't want to watch it on stream because, like I don't know, you never know like how YouTube like reacts to this stuff. I'm not monetizing my streams anyway, but yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, it could be. So what I wanted to show you, and I'm really terrified that my laptop is gonna start like overheating and stuff. So if my laptop is gonna start overheating, like I have like a freaking ventilator here. You know, I'm gonna turn it on and I'm gonna mute my microphone for a bit. Okay. So I just want to show you something, something funny, that you probably don't know because it comes like from the world of like, you know, cinematography and video editing and all of that stuff. But it's like, it's the same as category theory. You never know like when it's going to become useful. It's just going to be like in the back of your head. It's kind of cool to know that, you know, this stuff, that this is how it's done, that this stuff exists. Okay. So this is DaVinci Resolve, which is a video editing program. All right. So I'm gonna save it as just for fun. Okay. So I'm going to go to DaVinci resources, story blocks, and there's this this wave thing. Like this is that thing, right? That, you know, that is the background, right? So if you like throw it over here, like if we play it, you see it's green, right? But you can go like, it's called color grading, right? You can go over here and you can like play around with this hue and it changes the color, right? So if I turn it to 25, it's gonna be exactly the color that I'm using for that thing, right? But you can make it look like whatever you want to do. See, it's like green, yellow, whatever, you know, red, and you can do this like with many things. Yeah, and that's the end of the demonstration. And that's how it was done. All right, so most of you are Star Wars fans. Good to know, good to know. Yeah, it's called a hue. So you can change the hue and make it pretty much look like whatever you need. Yeah. Actually, like many years ago, I bought a LifeX bulb. Well, actually, multiple light bulbs. And first of all, I freaking hate them. Right? Like the hardware is good, the software is not. I think, right? They're like very unresponsive and whatever, but when they do work, they work. You know, they shine really great, which is why I'm saying that the hardware is good. And obviously it has an API because everything these days has an API, but it also has like a local network API. And so you can like send bits and stuff. And I always wanted to play with it, and maybe I will one day. Never used the tool. Going to check it. Thanks. Which one do you mean? Do you mean like DaVinci Resolve? DaVinci Resolve is like probably the greatest NLE these days. NLE stands for nonlinear editor. It comes like free. It has a free version and a studio version. I have been using the free version for years. There's no watermark or anything like this. The studio version costs $300 once, and you have it pretty much for your entire life. Like once a year, they release a new major version, and you don't need to pay anything extra to upgrade. And it's really great. It even outperforms what's it called? That thing that people use on Macs for video editing. Final Cut Pro. You know, it even outperforms Final Cut Pro on the MacBook. Yeah, so it's a great tool, and it actually is a suite of tools, right? So it has color grading, it has like effects and all kinds of stuff. Category theory equals group theory. No. They use like similar illustrations when they're drawn, but no. Sorry. Group theory is something that you learn in I don't know, 7th grade or something. It's the stuff about like there's a thing called a magma. Hold on a sec. There's a thing called a magma. A magma, right? MAGMA. Which is just a mathematical construct for a set of something and a binary operation on that set. Okay, and as soon as you add constraints, this magma gets renamed into something, right? So if this binary operation, so magma implies that this binary operation is closed, right? I believe this is the whole thing. Like this is the only thing that that is required to be a magma. Okay, so there's a thing, right? Okay, you have a set of things, and you have a binary operation on that set, and that thing doesn't have a name. As soon as this operation is closed, which means that when you apply this binary operation, the result is still going to be an element of the same set. Then it's called a magma. And then you add another thing and say, okay, well, as soon as it's associative, well, then we're going to call it a semi-group, because it's a group theory, right? So we're going to end up at the group, right? And then you add things, you know, okay, well, if you add the identity element, you know, meaning that if you take an element and you put, you know, there's 2 slots because it's a binary operation. You take the element, you take the identity element, the result is going to be that element, right? So the identity element is not going to change it. And you have like left identity, right identity, because you have these 2 slots, right? And so now you have a monoid. And then you go like this and you end up like with groups and stuff. So group theory is like something very, well, at least like what I know about it is something very narrow. In fact, I believe if we go to Wikipedia, we should find what I just said. I believe it had actually a table somewhere. Or maybe if we look for monoid. Yeah, so there you go. You have like a magma, and then like usually like what we discuss in programming is like magma, semigroup, monoid, and then you have a group, right? And you have like all of these things, you know, like, so like, for example, like the union types and the intersection types in Scala 3, they actually form a semilattice. And honestly, I don't remember what a semilattice is. Semilattice, there we go. A join or an upper semilattice is a partially ordered set. It has a join, a least upper bound for any non-empty finite subset. Okay, so it's about what's it called? It's about type inference, right? I think. So like in Scala 2, like whenever you have like an if else, and in the if case you have like one type, and in the else case you have another type, and you have some error message like related to that, like the whole tree of types needs to be traversed, and then it's going to say, I don't know, let's say you call a function foo on it, and then it's going to say foo is not a member of any, right? Because you have like a string on one side, int on the other side, like the only thing that they have in common is any, right? And so it's going to say, well, foo is not a member of any ref. But with this thing, it's going to say foo is not a member of int or string, right? So I believe like this is the importance of the semilattice and all of that, you know, crazy stuff. So this is group theory. Category theory is actually, there's a cool playlist by Bartosz Milowski. I'm sure that if we go for like category theory, we're gonna find him immediately. Yeah, there you go. So he has a playlist, which is probably the one that we just looked at, called Category Theory. I haven't even seen like Category Theory 2 or Category Theory 3. It's super interesting to watch, and it takes forever to arrive at, you know, something like monads. And it's very, very important. Like if you actually invest in like watching this playlist, I believe in like video 10 or something. Like at some point they're talking about monads, right? Like 10. Okay, so these are like the last two, right? And like one of the most important things over here is it says that category theories, they don't care about monads. Like monads are not important at all for category theory, but for functional programming they're super important. And so functional programmers say, okay, well, therefore category theory is very important, and it is. It's just that it's kind of funny, which is why, like, you know, this whole what's it called? What was I just talking about? I was distracted because I read your messages. Yeah, this whole phrase, you know, this whole a monad is just a monoid in the category of endofunctors. What's the problem? Like this, what's the problem is the most important part about this whole thing, because, you know, like this basically means that, okay, monad is a concept from some other field, which is category theory, and in that field, it's nothing special. You know, so when you learn about monads, like one of the most important things you should ask yourself is that why are monads important? Especially if you're a senior developer and you have been programming like object-oriented programming for your entire life. How is it possible that you never heard about monads? Or how is it possible that you never needed monads, right? And why, like, do all of these people all of a sudden say that you need monads? Like, how, like you somehow managed to program without monads for years and years, and they can't. Like, why can't they? You know, so there has to be something about functional programming that really, really needs monads. So yeah, like as you can see, like just like knowing a bunch of these things makes me like sound like I'm smart, you know, but I'm not. I just like spend like an enormous amount of time just like digging into that stuff, just because I was curious, and because I needed to make those videos. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, no worries. This is a very famous playlist, especially like he's also very famous in the Scala ecosystem. He has written like a ton of blogs about category theory, and somebody else took it, combined them all, and created a book about category theory. But it's actually a bunch of blogs, so I haven't read it, but it's like, you know, apparently it's like you know, it doesn't read like a book, you know. And somebody else in the Scala community, because like the examples were in Haskell, somebody else in the Scala community actually took it and has rewritten it to Scala. And I actually believe it's free. Category theory book, Scala. Okay, it's not free. No, it's like, hold on. Yes, I see it's like a Scala edition. I haven't read it, by the way. well, like somebody else like did it. In any case, so it's like $30, but I believe it's $30 for the hardcover. I believe you can find it on GitHub, and yeah, so Egal Tabashny. So he did the Scala version. I believe if you actually go to GitHub, there's a free PDF version of that book. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is the normal edition. Yeah, it's true. It's full of interesting people. Also very loud people. Oh man, time flies. Look, it's 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago. Yeah, this is Scala. It's been tremendous success. Blah blah blah. So blah blah blah. Yeah. So yeah, so this is like the translation from like Haskell to Scala. Yeah, and so basically you can get the book here. Here. Ta-da! It's a lot though. It's like 500 pages or something. Yeah, 561. Yeah. You know, by the way, like I considered like reading stuff like this on stream, and I googled like if I'm allowed to do that, and I'm actually not allowed to do that. You know, like if I like start reading this stuff, like I could get like, well, not like banned or something. Like I'm gonna get like a slap on the wrist and stuff. But like this video would get like demonetized and whatever. It's not monetized anyway because it's you know, like I never monetize my streams. Let me actually see real quick. Like that thing, like look at this. Like one of the streams over here, it got a copyright claim, and it's because I used to dance salsa, and when I was at you know, at this dance school, at the end of my dancing career, which was like 1.5 years of social dancing, it's not actually a career. So at the end of this, we did like a small performance, and it's on YouTube, and you can, you know, go check it out. And so I showed it on stream. Like you can watch this stream somewhere in the middle. I show it, and like obviously there is a song, right? And at that time, like I didn't, you know, really care about it, right? It's not that I didn't care about it. Like I didn't even like realize that, you know, it's a thing, right? And obviously like it got flagged immediately, and it was like, okay, you're ineligible to monetize this at all. It's not a big problem for me because I'm not monetizing the streams anyway. But if this was like a, I don't know, like I don't know, like a Metallica song or something, that would actually be, they could actually not like sue me, but they could do like a copyright strike. So it could become like a bigger deal, you know. But yeah, like as a YouTube, as a content creator, like especially on YouTube, you need to be super careful about this. Like this whole music that you're hearing right now is DMCA free music, which is why like it's always the same music that we're listening to. Anyhow, we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Yeah. So I'm gonna bounce and see you on Friday, I guess. I'm sorry, today is Friday. See you on Monday, if everything goes according to plan. And thanks for hanging out. And do you code on weekends? If I had time, yeah, I make videos on weekends. So I don't know like how new you're here. Like I don't know when you started like watching my stuff. Like is it just like the stream? Did you just stumble on the streams? Like I've been doing this for like almost 5 years, and every weekend there was a video. Lately I have been like slipping a little bit, but I'm hoping to get back into this. So I do code on weekends, not on stream. Maybe I will do it on stream. Like I want to make a video about ZO2. Like I want to see what's happening in ZO2, and I don't know much about it, so maybe we'll do like the research on stream. We'll see. Anyway, I'm really gonna go now. So thanks for hanging out, and I see you on Monday. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, so we're doing this again. Yeah, it's been a productive session. All right, so cheers.